Hello friends, weird little tie this week. You'll find in rope bondage there's tons of ways to tie the wrists, but not many ways to tie the palms together. This little tie uses very minimal amounts of rope and introduces this either praying hands position or this clasped fingers position. And I think you're going to like it. Keep in mind that this is much more of a tie for the hands than it is a tie for the wrists. What I'm going to do is start off with a single column tie. Getting the tension of this right is a little bit tricky because I want there to be enough gap to put a rope between the hands later, but I don't want it to be so loose that it's moving out of position. Notice that I've deliberately left a long bite to finish off with later. First we're going in the gap between the thumb and the index finger, underneath the hands and up to the other side. And then we're going underneath, and we're placing a rope next to it, but not going through the thumbs this time. To stabilise all those ropes, we're going in between the hands and placing this rope as flat as I can in the gap. And that will hold those in place. Now to finish off here, the reason I left a long bite is I need something to tie off to, so I'm just going to finish with a normal reef knot. And I've deliberately kept this visible, but you can tie this in the gap where the wrist would be if you want to hide that more. And you can see you can still move the wrists around and still move the fingers around. So it's just a tie for the hands. I like how fast this tie goes on and comes off. For 4 meters of doubled over rope, you get an awful lot of restriction and comfort for a very small amount of rope. Okay, let's tie this again and call out a few more details. Nothing in this tie is tied tightly, everything's just placed on the skin. The only thing you need to be careful of is the tension of this initial single column tie, because if I go too loose with it, you can see what happens here is it looks fine at this point, but when I move it down to go down the hands, it loses its place and moves around. See how with a tiny bit more tension, after I've locked this off, it will move down and just stay at the base of the thumb joint. That single column tie is just sitting at the base of the thumb. Again, nothing tight here, it's just sitting where it sits. We don't need to squeeze or put any additional pressure on. Where did this tie come from? Well, it's an adaptation of something Star and I found on a website years and years ago. And it's an adaptation because the version we found was similar to this. It did more with going through the webs of the fingers to interlace them. But what we found was that it was the finger webbing that caused the main issue. It became uncomfortable really quickly. So we adapted it to take that out and add more reinforcement at the base of the hand. But we couldn't find the website, so if you recognise it and want to let us know what it is, then please let us know. Hey friends, hope that was useful. If you liked it, please use the like button. It helps put us out there for other people. I'm just stroking my cat on the floor. Do you want to come say hi? You can say hi. Yeah. If you like this channel, bear in mind we don't get much financial support from places like YouTube and Instagram. So if you like this place, not huge fans of ours. If you like the channel, I've left a link to our Patreon, and if you can donate £1 or so a month, then we'd really appreciate that.